Good mid-afternoon, British Covidians. It's almost time to stop for tea. In fact, a bit of a late tea break today, but cheers even if you're having a late tea break. And that does about hit the spot, quite honestly. I want to start off today because we've been getting a increasing amount in the media on refugees, migrants, if you like. Let's get a proper media angle on them. They're migrants. Some may call them illegal migrants, but I think the media rather like migrants better because it seems to just dehumanise them. Yeah? Don't you think the term migrant is, well, you know, maybe it's factually correct, but it dehumanises them, doesn't it? Yeah, dehumanises them. But mind you, I have another thought. I think many of our fascist, right-wing, fart-argue, white, undercooked, gammon-baked tossers, yeah, they might prefer the term illegals. Now, in America, they love terms like illegals, yeah? They have special border squads to catch the illegals, yeah? And they have people at the border, yeah, to separate the kids from their parents and put the illegal kids in cages and put the illegal parents in prison and ask the illegal kids of 2, 3, 4, 5 to speak for themselves in a hearing. They put children in cages. Yeah? That's how America thinks of people. That's probably what Boris thinks about people. But another thing that this, of course, is all distracting from, I'll talk about that in a second, but just ask me, do you think this man here, just tell me rather, do you think this man here is planning on stealing your job? Yeah? Don't know what your job is, but is he planning on stealing your 0 hours contract? Is he planning on just taking your job off you? Is he going to work illegally without papers and everything? Is this man surrounded by water, keeping, I think it is probably his little child's head above the water? I mean, I can't tell if that's a boy or a girl, obviously, but do you think that is the first thing on his mind? Yeah? Has he come over here and is he floating adrift in a life jacket, having maybe escaped a sinking rubber boat? Is that what he's doing? Yeah? And Priti Patel, the vile person that she is, can now start, we're going to increase the border patrols, yeah? We're going to increase the border patrols. If we had Katie Hopkins, she would be calling, obviously, for gunboats. They would sink the little rubber boats and they would blow the people in them, including the children, to shreds, yeah? And arms and legs and body parts and innards and guts would splash down in the sea off a British beach, and mutilated corpses would be washed up. There are some people who are so vile that they would see these people drown. They're so vile. They're so inhuman. They're so terrible. They're so evil. They would say, run them down in the water. Yeah? Anyway, the next one. All right, I'm going to do two things today and take a little sip to mark that point in the narrative. Parents, we were talking about kids there. Parents, your kiddywinks are going to have to go back to school in September. Your kiddywinks are going to have to go back to school because Boris said so. Boris said that we have a moral duty to send them back to school. We have a social duty. We have a parental duty to make sure they are still educated. Doesn't matter their age. Yeah, doesn't matter. We have a moral duty to do this. And it does seem that, of course, even when people on SAGE and scientists and chief scientific advisors and doctors and medics are screaming at him, it's not safe. Remember the old Marathon Man one? Is it safe? No, it's not safe. Yeah, just think if you've ever watched Marathon Man, you'll get that one. Is it safe? No, it's not safe. And the doctors and the scientists and the medics are telling Bozo, Bozo the clown, Bozo the clown, who finds a semi-sexual thrill in watching fox hunting. They're telling him it's not safe. And the teachers are telling him, we won't go back until it's safe for us, the pupils, everybody in the school, everybody visiting the school. We won't go back. And Bozo now, of course, pretty shortly will start going back to demonising the teaching unions, demonising them as trendy lefties wanting this and that and the other, long holidays, sitting on their arse doing nothing, afraid to go back to school, afraid to face the kids. Yeah, but I want you to look at it this way. Yeah, imagine there's a class of 30 kids. Yeah, and Mrs. X is teaching them on period 7 or whatever. They're 14, 15-year-olds or whatever, yeah, and it's English. Yeah, Mrs. X won't be allowed to wear a mask. Mrs. X in this scenario has, like I do, diabetes controlled by insulin. She has, like I do, heart problems, had already had one heart attack, and she has a compromised immune system. Mrs. X has been asked to shield, but Mrs. X can't afford to lose her job as a teacher if she's told she must go back. Mrs. X is really frightened, but Mrs. X goes back. Now, any parent knows kids especially are great vectors for and transmitters of diseases and illnesses. Anything from nits, which apparently love to settle on clean hair, by the way, so if anyone's going, they got nits, they must be dirty. Not at all. Nits like to live on clean hair. And if you're a parent and your kids haven't had a case of nits, well, you must be one of the few parents. Yeah? Everything from nits to coughs, colds, flu, various diseases. Kids are little, they're little bacteria and viral factories, yeah, and they spread them, yeah. So back come the kids from school. Maybe they aren't even showing symptoms. Maybe they haven't got anything, but they go and see Nanny and Grandad, and then suddenly the Tories are absolutely over the moon, because when those old pensioners get COVID, they die, yeah, and that's 1, 2, 3, 4, however many less pensions to pay. The Tories are delighted. They want the kids to go back and spread it. Yeah. So be very careful. Okay, very shortly the hammer's going to come down on the teachers. Yeah, it's going to come down. The media are going to demonise them. Everyone's going to be going, it's okay, they should be back by now, they must be back by now, everything is safe. Yeah. And the R rate is rising. Yeah, it is, isn't it? Yeah, yeah. Compared to all the deaths in Europe and whatever, it's still going up, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, but we might have to close the pubs to send the schools back. I don't know. But my feeling is the teachers know best. They'll know and agree when it's safe to go back. Listen to them, not Johnson and his lying, thieving government, yeah? Because they're only interested in one thing: getting people back to work. And if you are a parent, a carer, a relative or whatever, and you have to be there to care for your kids from September and whatever, even at the moment, yeah, you can't be at work. And if you can't be at work, you're not feeding the economy and making billionaires even richer. Bye.